Hello. Okay. So today I'm gonna do like a 101 on some of the basic things in Minecraft. So we're gonna start with like survival, gathering, joining the world and all that. So when you join the world, you create it, you're going to be in survival, obviously. You're gonna have little hearts at the bottom, and you're going to be you need to find wood. Now this wood is going to be used to make all sorts of things, or at least be able to access them. Hi, Anakin. Um, but let's see. Sorry. So you're gonna have to gather your wood, as so. Now usually you don't need to chop the entire tree down unless, well, you don't want it like that. A lot of people don't like doing that, leaving the tree floating. Basically, this is the fastest tier guide. There's other like gears, there's gold, there's copper, but this is the fastest guide to getting to diamond, which is the second best. Netherite is the best, but we're only doing like the basics, the simplest things. So we're not going to get into too much detail with the nether. But over here, your wood tools, which is what you get from mining the tree. You can then get to your stone tools, then your iron tools, and then your diamond tools. So let's quickly, and then over on the side of the crafting table, if, because from what I'm assuming, you don't know how to play the game. So this is the crafting recipe area. And we are doing this in Bedrock, so there will be a little bit of a difference between Bedrock and Java, but not too much, especially when it comes to just survival. Now we're just gonna make a wooden pickaxe, not stone. Gonna make wooden pickaxe, and then we're gonna come over here. So you need a stone pickaxe if you want to get iron, but you can't get diamond without a stone, or yeah, stone, an iron pickaxe. To get iron, you need to smelt it down into ingots using a furnace, which is right here. This is a blast furnace and this is a smoker. These are all furnaces pretty much. This one smelts ores really fast. This one smelts food really fast. This one can only smelt ores. This one can only smelt food, if that makes sense. So we're going to make a stone pickaxe, like so. And then in the back is coal. You need coal as fuel. You can use your wooden pickaxe, you can use oak planks, you can use a lot of things for fuel. Now, the recommended thing to do when you like start, you don't keep your wooden tools after you get stone because you don't need that anymore. So just throw it out or use as fuel when you get your stone or tools because you don't need wood tools once you get stone. So we're just gonna get some 6 coal. And then you're gonna have to go into the caves to find the coal and iron. But once you find some iron, make sure you get that. We're only gonna grab 3 for now. But you can make armor, like an iron helmet or diamond helmet. You can also get leather armor from killing cows. You can, that's how you get leather to make leather armor. We're just gonna use this blast furnace, which you do have to make. It is more expensive than this furnace and requires iron. You need 5 iron to make a blast furnace. Okay, we'll just wait for. All right, there it is. So now we have an iron pickaxe. And then you're gonna have to go somewhat deep. There is a chance you find this in the normal stone levels, but usually you're going to find diamonds in deep slate, which is a darker rock. But once you get diamonds, you can make pretty much the best armor, unless you go to the nether. And then here, this is lava. You're gonna need to turn this lava into obsidian. Now that's not too hard. You just grab a bucket of water. There's no water around here there, so I can't show that. But you grab a bucket of water, and then you just pour over this lava, and then you can mine the obsidian with a diamond pickaxe. So you want to head back to your crafting table, and you got to make your diamond pickaxe. You can obviously make diamond armor and all that, so I'll just make like diamond pants right now. So there, you have some armor. And then you're gonna need this armor actually. But once you get a diamond pickaxe, but since this is just a basic tutorial, pretty much, you don't need to know how to do the speedrunning strat, which is using a bucket of water and lava, and then like filling it in and turning the water and or placing the water, turning the lava into obsidian, and then taking the water away before it gets to the pool. But pretty much, you don't need to fill these corners in. This is a portal frame, and once you fill in these spaces and create this entire frame in your world, you want to use a flint and steel, or if you found a ruined portal, a fire charge. You use that here and it'll light it. You can then go to the nether, as Steve has said. But once you're in the nether, there's a lot of things that you would have to do. Not all too much, but there's a good amount of things you have to do before you are done with the nether. Now we're going to head over to some basic building. So here is probably the most normal wall you will see. You can, you'll see this in villages. Same thing with these ones. But these walls are more make it look better. In the end, I will give a quick like preview of a build I've been working on. So stay tuned for that. Now over here, these are some common roof examples. This one these two actually can be turned into like houses. You can just put a door here and then dig down a little bit. There's a lot of things you can do, but here are just some basic roof examples. And for your builds and all that, you need to pick your right roofs, materials. You can't just grab dirt and then some sandstone. Like, you can't just start doing this and then try build a house, because that's not going to look good if you want to for good, go for good looking. Now this is another roof example. This one you can't like turn into a miniature house like I was explaining over there. This one actually requires to go onto um like a actual frame of a house. Now this is all very basic, very normal. There's a lot of different things, including texturing. So texturing is taking a bunch of different blocks that match the same color, pretty much, or similar, and then you can like blend it into there, put all those different blocks into a wall at kind of a different random pace to texture it and make it look better. There is a lot of things, mega builds you could do, but building is all yours. And then over here is redstone. This redstone is more of a kind of a higher beginner level thing. Unless you're like just playing in creative, then this is all you have to learn. Well, that and then this is really all you have to learn in creative if that's all you're gonna do. Pretty much with redstone, you have the redstone button, lever, and then we're gonna like go over some of the like blocks and all that before we actually get into some contraptions. So we have the hopper and crafter. The hopper, let's say you drop something, it will pick it up, and then if there's a like a chest underneath, which a chest stores items, you can it will pick it up, and anything like a chest, it will put underneath, put the item into. A crafter, is a lot more advanced. We'll get to that later. But pretty much what it does is it lets you automate crafting. So if you want to make just an unlimited amount of stone pickaxes, okay, you can set up some contraptions and etc., which will let you just be able to automatically craft stuff. To use this, you just gotta like do that. So the squares you click are like the areas that can't be used by the crafter. Over here is redstone dust, this thing right here, button and a lever. So redstone dust, pretty much, that's how you're gonna travel and transfer everything. It's pretty much like a wire, okay? You take this and then you can put it wherever, do whatever with it, and it will transfer like a signal to something else, which will let you create great things. A lever, pretty simple. It's just an output item that you can flick that will one way will always give you, oh, when it's powered, the redstone will be glowing. So pretty much a lever will always give you an infinite signal, but when you flick it off, it dies. A button, very simple. You press it, and then Anakin, what are you doing? And then it'll go away. So it's like just a little button. Okay, over here we have a repeater, a redstone torch, and a piston plus a sticky piston. So a repeater. These can be used for a good amount of things. Oh, hello, kitty. Including, let's say you want to send some redstone dust through a block. Like, well, ooh. Okay, we have a block. Okay. Oh, there's a cat on my lap. Okay. So let's say you want that. The redstone dust, that redstone dust shouldn't light up, but the lever or the repeater will make that light up through the other side. But if this block wasn't here, that won't light up. Oh God, the cat's sitting on my keyboard. Okay. But this does have some limitations. You can also do some things with it. If you get another repeater and then face it into here. So let's say, okay, cat, get off my desk. Sorry, cat. Okay, let's say this is a repeater, okay? This repeater is facing into this oak plank. You're gonna put this, you put this here, and then this is powered, this one's powered, this one locks. So this one can't do anything until this one is unpowered, if that makes sense. I'll give a little bit of a better demonstration later. And then the redstone torch. Redstone torch is just pretty much a source that gives an infinite amount of power out. There are some things you could do, like you can get another redstone torch and put it on top of here, and it'll actually turn this one off. You can like build a big tower and it'll do things. And then you can turn these off with let's see, okay. You can turn these off with just a repeater, and I'm pretty sure a redstone torch might work. A repeater into the side of the block that the torch is on, and then powering the repeater, and that turns off. Now over here, this is a piston and a sticky piston. We'll move these a little bit. Pretty much a sticky piston. Will you grab this? The sticky piston will grab it and then pull it back with you. The normal piston is not going to grab it, it just pushes it away. Now there's like redstone doors that you can make with these. Now, that's pretty much that. The comparator, the daylight sensor, and the observer. So comparator. These things aren't really for the faint of heart. I don't usually know what's going on with them. Pretty much how this thing works is Let's say you have a source going in through its side here. We'll grab a lever here. Oh, okay. Um, and then you grab this lever and you push it through here. It's going to choose the higher, with this one, it's going to choose the higher redstone source. So this one is over here. It's a little bit farther away from this lever here. So it's going to choose this one. It's going to choose this output and then send it through this side. But if you turn on the torch, oh wait, I think I did something wrong. No, no. Okay, you turn on this torch, okay? It's going to, it should, okay, so these ones suck. I remember that. But pretty much what happens when you turn this little light bulb on is it turns on subtraction mode. So anything going on to this from the side and this side will subtract it and will subtract the two signals and output a smaller signal. Over here is a pulse extender. Pulse extenders aren't really needed unless you are trying to extend the pulse, obviously. But pretty much how these things work is, let's say you light it up, okay? Doesn't look like it does anything, but when you take this away, it dies really slow, opposed to when you take it away from a normal one, it just dies immediately. So that's how a pulse extender works. You can add more pulse extenders onto each other, just going continuously, which will make it extend a lot longer, but that's the pulse extender. This is a redstone clock. This is one of the most basic ones. Oh, okay, hang on. Let's go back to the repeater real quickly. I'm so sorry, I forgot about that. So this repeater has four things you can do. These little ticks. This is the shortest. Then it's next, next, next. Each one that's farther away from its normal status, it gets longer and takes longer for the signal to travel through. So over here I had a redstone clock. Pretty much it's an infinitely cycling redstone loop. And to set it up, it's really easy. You have one repeater facing this way, one repeater facing this way, and then you power it. Now it's not going to do anything yet, but make sure you set these two real quickly to the next, and then you gotta break it. But okay, I did that really slow. Okay, so let's say you have this because you're gonna need another redstone. Oh my, I can't do this. Okay. You need another redstone dust in your hand if you want to do it quickly. There you go. See, now it works. It's gonna keep going infinitely. You can set these ticks to go longer, but you're just gonna have to reset it real quickly. There you go. Oh, it's gotta go slower. And then these can go all the way to their max speed or their slowest speed there. See? It's pretty slow. I messed that up really bad. That was really horrible demonstration. But that's a redstone clock for you. They're really good for sending out a lot of um uh like ticks out because that a tick is pretty much a fourth, if I'm correct, a fourth of a second. Oh, and we have the observer clock, which I actually forgot to explain them what observers and daylight sensors do. Pretty much, we'll take these a little bit further away. Basically, a daylight sensor, if it's yellow, it's detecting if it's day. If it's blue, it's detecting if it's night. See, this is detecting if it's night and it's not night, so no redstone pulse. But now, now it's detecting day and it's day, so there's a redstone pulse. Over here is the observer. It observes, obviously. Pretty much what happens is, let's say you place a block in front of it, it will detect that and send a little redstone signal out. Or it's a short redstone signal also. But let's say you want to smelt something and there's an observer in front of it. The observer will detect if you put stuff inside the furnace, and the observer should also will also not what should will detect if the item is smelted, smelting, and if the furnace stopped smelting, and it'll send a little tick out. Now with observer clock, these things are much faster than a redstone clock and smaller. And you can also make them be able to turn on and off with a sticky piston. So let's just turn it on real quickly. And you see it's going to send a pulse out. We'll just grab redstone real quickly. It's going to keep sending out a little pulse like that. And it'll send it out on both sides. Oh, that's the back side. It'll send out, it'll send pulses back on both sides. And then if you turn it off, it stops doing that. The reason why it's doing this is because this observer here is facing into this guy, and these are the redstone, not these are the the redstone output areas, not the face. The face is what it detects it. So the face detects that this guy's here, and then this guy detects that this guy's here, and in like some coding inside, they detect that this guy output here, so then this one outputs here. That's pretty much it for redstone. There's a bunch more things, and I'm not here to just explain everything about redstone. So go search it up on how to make redstone doors if that's what you want to do, etc. I will make probably a advanced version of this, explaining more detailed things, going further in. But now time for the PvP part. This is the part that a lot of people will probably want to know. But pretty much, okay, so imagine you're this little Steve, okay? Little Steve wants to learn how to PvP. There are a lot of key things when it comes to PvP, including how to use it, your tools. We'll just grab this sword, for example. So in your hotbar, there it takes, because there's ticks running infinitely right now, okay? As we're speaking in Minecraft, there's just ticks going through. That's how you place, break, switch through your hotbar. But let's say you are doing PvP. If you're going to disable someone's shield, which we need a shield actually, we'll make a shield. We don't have iron. It's fine. So shield in Bedrock and Java are a bit different. For Java, because this is PV for compute those are for computers usually. You hold right click and it will just put it up. But for Bedrock, you gotta crouch, which does this. It makes you move slower, which is probably one of the reasons why I hate Bedrock the most. But with your shield up, you can't take damage. The shield will lose durability, and durability is just how much health you have on your items. But you want a full set of diamond armor at least if you're gonna do PvP, unless you're really good. You can do lower tiers of armor. But with your with your sword in Bedrock, you can just pretty much spam click. You can just do this, and it will do the same amount of damage, and it will just keep hitting them. In Java PvP, there is a little bar underneath your crosshair. This little plus here. There's a little bar underneath it, and you need to wait till that fills up before you can hit again. Otherwise, you deal less damage. This is about the average swing speed of a Java PvPer, and then this is swing speed of a Bedrock. Pretty significant. Now, when it comes to disabling someone's shield, you need to use an axe. So this little guy here. Axes are very good when it comes to disabling shields or just doing a huge amount of damage in Java. Pretty much how you disable it is if someone is crouching in Bedrock or holding up their shield with right click in Java, you hit the shield with an axe. It doesn't matter if it's full swing or not, you just hit it. And it will disable the shield. The shield can't be used for, pretty sure, 5-ish seconds. Those 5 seconds, you could kill someone almost immediately, depending on your armor, their armor, or not your armor, but their armor and your weapons. My cat it wants out. Okay. But once you disable their shield, that's probably the go ahead. That's when a lot of combos start. There is three basic attacks, three normal. There is the KB hit, which is sprinting and hitting them. There is the normal hit, and then there's a crit, which is jump and then hit them. Now, once you disable someone's shield, that's usually a combo starter. If it's not a combo starter, for you, you can use different combo starters. Pretty much, you want to do a KB hit, and if you do that, you want to sprint right after you hit them because it will get rid of your sprint. And then you want to just keep doing that, and it will get them stun locked pretty much. And then you want to strafe left and right, keep your cursor on the person while hitting them. But that is pretty much the basics. There's more things, including healing with golden apples, food, when to be aggro, when to not be aggro. But if you want like the best chance of hitting them with your axe, put the axe in the last hotbar. Because the last hotbar, actually, pretty much how the hotbar tick system works is in the furthest slot. That's like the best chance you have. I don't know exactly how it works, but this is the best chance you have at like actually disabling the shield. Because see how fast this switches? It doesn't seem, there doesn't seem to be a difference, but there definitely is a difference in tick wise when you're switching between the two. Just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it for me here. I hope you guys learned something today, and goodbye.